Hello guys, welcome to Java JSM, and in this video we are going to discuss about abstractions in Java. So what is basically abstractions? So abstraction means, if you think about the abstractions, suppose we have something machine. Okay, so we have a machine, and in the machine having some functionality. Okay, so through that machine we can operate those functionalities. So every machine having some button, through the touch you can do some operations. For example, let's take the example of your computer. So this is the computer, and I have a keyboard, I have a mouse, I have some touchpad like mouse. Okay, so what we can do is, for example, I am pressing here key in my keyboard. So what will happen? This key is affecting in my notepad or whatever the editor I am using. Okay, and I am able to operate this my computers with the help of the keyboard, with the help of the mouse. Okay, so basically how the operations are the perform internally my computer, I don't know. I just know how to click the buttons and what I have to do. Okay, but how internally they are doing, I don't know. So it's a something like a security. So I'm not touching the actual thing, I'm not doing the actual things. Okay, but I'm able to operate with particular keyboard, particular mouse of those system. Okay, so it means that it's protect the security also. Okay, I don't know internally what they use as a RAM, ROM, hardware, what is the operating system. I don't have a aware about it. I don't have any knowledge about those logic, how they are written, how they are working internally. But only one things I know, which is how to operate it. So if I click one, it will print one. If I click next, it will click next. It will do the action based on that. Okay, so while operating some machine with the outside of the some button, okay, that is called abstractions. Okay, don't touch the exact part of the things, but we can operate with the something else, that is called a abstractions. So providing the actual code and operating code differences having some gap, so you don't want to see the actual code. Suppose let's take the example of the ATM. Okay, so like we are going to the ATM, we are putting your card, it will scan it, you are giving your pin code, everything, you are enter your amount. Then after, the ATM will understand, okay, you want that much of amount and you are the valid users. Then only he will fetch that much of amount from the ATM and it will give it back. You just know the press button, you don't know anything about it, like how they validate your credentials, your cards, and how they will fetch the amount, it's available or not available in your account or not. It will check each and everything internally, and then after it will give you finally money. Okay, so all those things will happen internally, those you don't know. You are just only aware about, I have put it the card, I have entered my pin code, I have entered the amount, and I got the money. Okay, so that is the differences and gap, we can say those are the abstractions. Okay, let's talk about it. Suppose you want to create a class to represent a vehicles. You might define a abstract class with the common attribute and methods, and leave some methods undefined to be the implemented by the classes. Okay, so for example, if you create any abstract class, so basically we can achieve the abstraction with the help of the abstract class and interfaces. So here you can see we have created one abstract class which is vehicles. We have defined some properties, we have defined some method also, we have given the declare some abstract method also. Okay, this is the abstract methods, and those methods we are like providing as a rules, and we are forcing the subclasses to implement it. So for example, vehicles class is extended by the car class. This is the car class extended by the vehicle class. What will happen? The car class have to implement declare method, which is abstract method inside the vehicle class. So what is the abstract method? Which is a start and a stop. So he have to overwrite it, otherwise you can get error. So that is called a abstractions. Let's go to the STS, and here we can create some vehicles class. So let me create one class called vehicles. Okay, and this vehicle class is nothing but class, it's abstract class. So let me give as abstract class, and also here I'm going to write one defined method which is undefined method. So public void we have some defined method. Okay, and I will declare one undefined method which is public undefined. So this is called abstract method. So we have to write here public abstract. Okay, so this is the method. We are not giving the body for that. We have given the body for that, but for this one we have not given the body. So whatever the classes is tried to extend or implement this vehicle class, he have to provide the override or implementation of these undefined methods. Okay, he have to provide the implementation of the undefined method, and this method is given for the bonus, so he can just use it. Okay, let me create one more methods, one more class, which is car class. So here you can see car class, and I will extend car with vehicles class. So this is the vehicle class. Here if you see, I have just created the class, and if you go here and if you see, it's saying like the type car must implement the inherited abstract method which is vehicles dot undefined. So we have to override those methods. So if you click in like add unimplemented method, so it will by default override it. Okay, so this is the things you have to remember it. Okay, so that is called abstractions. So something you can give as a bonus, which is this method, define method, and something you can force to the subclass, please define it. So through that we can achieve the abstractions in Java. So this is the examples we have covered. This is the abstractions. What is the benefits of the abstractions in the Java? What is the advantage? It's reduce the complexity. For example, you want to operate your machine. If you go and do each and everything manually, it will not work, and also you have so many complexity, it will take so many times. But he given the keyboard, we can type each and everything very fastly. Okay, it will given the like suggestion also, so you can go very fastly. So that is the benefits you can get with the reduce the complexity, increase the security. Okay, so you just don't want to worry about internal things, so he will do all those security things, and he will validate your cards, each and everything. So internally he will provide the security also. Increase the reusability. Whatever the method we have defined into the parent classes, for example into the vehicle classes, so this method the peoples will reuse it. He don't want to define one again in the implemented classes. Okay, so one method you can provide to the all other classes also. That is called reusability. Okay, avoid the code duplications. We are not going to write multiple times multiple same code. Okay, that is called reduce. Avoid means reduce or remove it the code duplications. Loose coupling, we have already discussed what is the loose coupling. Okay, so the part will not dependent to each other, that is called loose coupling. So one class is not dependent to the another classes, so we can say those classes having a loose couplings. So these are the benefits. What is the abstract class? So abstract class are the class that cannot be instantiated. Instantiated mean you can't create an object for the abstract class. Okay, let me check. So this is the object class, this is the vehicles class, you can see here, and in the vehicle class I'm going to create an object for that. So let's create one main methods. So in the abstract class I'm going to create one main methods. Okay, so main method is created. I will write vehicles be equal to new vehicles. Okay, so I will remove this one line, and here I will simply write vehicles. So if you see here, you can see cannot instantiate the type of the vehicles. Okay, it means that you can't instantiate it. Okay, why? Because you can't create an object of the vehicles. Vehicles is a abstract class. For the interface and abstract class, you can't create an object. Here you can see there is no instantiated. If you create a constructor also, which is public vehicles, even if create the constructor, that is fine. Okay, here you can see you have created a constructor also, that is a constructor of the vehicles. So constructor is fine, but you can't create the object for that internally. So it's a compiler rule, and it's a standard of the codings, you can say. So why we are not creating an object for that? We are because in this class may be having some undefined methods, which is abstract method. So because of that we are not creating an object for that. We are trying to force the implemented class, which is like a car, will create an object for that, and internally this object will also create it, and this is capable to store the object of the implemented class, and we can do work with this one. So keep in your mind, you can't create an object of interface and abstract class. This is the rules you have to remember. Okay, let me comment this line of the code. So we can create an object of the abstract class. This is the one line it's saying there on, but can be subclassed. Yes, subclass will able to create an object of this subclasses also. They are used to define a common interface. They are used to define a common interface, that is fine, or behavior of the set of the classes, but may also contains concrete implementation. So here if you go in the classes, you can see this is the concrete method and this is the abstract methods. Okay, so in the abstract class we can define concrete method also and abstract method also. Okay, that is possible. Abstract classes are the declared using the abstract keyword, for example. So this is the abstract animal classes having a eat method, and make sound is a abstract methods. Having a dog, so it's a dog is extended the animal, so he have to provide the implementations of this make sound. So it's provide the implementation for that, which is a abstract method, and he have to also provide the implementation of this, and those classes are able to access this it method also, because both are common for that. Okay, so this is the things you have to remember it. Okay, in the next lecture we can talk about the interface, but you have to understand what is the abstraction, what is the abstract class, what abstract class can do, what it will not do, what is the benefit of the abstract class. Each and everything you have to remember it. Okay, thank you so much. It's a very important for the interview also. So in the interview room, basically the interviewer will ask you, can you tell me like what is the abstract class and what we can define inside this. So if he asks like what is the abstract class, you can tell simply abstract. Inside the abstract class we can define a normal method also, or concrete method also, and abstract method also. That is possible. Okay, and whoever is trying to extend or implement this abstract classes, who have to provide the implementation of the abstract method. So that is the benefit. Also, you can't create an object of this abstract class. We can't create an object for abstract class. We can define a constructor for that, but we can't create an object for that. Okay, thank you so much.